All right, so let me introduce our first presenter. Only been with Adept for maybe a year, 2 years. Ryan Mongeau joining us, and we got to hear SpaceAge Electronics. So Ryan, please come on up. Welcome, Ryan. Here you go, sir.
Oh, thank you. Morning, everybody. Oh, cool. Yeah, I told myself I was going to go to bed early last night, get some sleep, because I got a presentation in the morning, and then I started going on YouTube, and it was like 12:30. I'm like, learn how to build a helicopter out of a lawnmower, and so it's no good. All right, so first order of business, everybody take your favorite hand, put it up in the air. This is the only audience participation portion. This is for everybody at home that thinks that when I go away, I don't do anything. Thank you. Okay. So, there we go. So I'm with a company called SpaceAge Electronics. We're based out of Sterling, Massachusetts. So we're in the life safety industry. So we say life safety. We started in the fire alarm industry. A lot of what we do is smoke control, fire alarm equipment, access control, mass notification. So it's easier to just kind of say as an umbrella, life safety. I'm our director of technology, as well as our special projects manager. So anything that we have, it requires a ton of logistics, and we need one person kind of focusing on it. I handle those. I'm responsible for our ISO system, our automation. So we have automated CNC punching, some robotic welding. We do a little bit of machining. We kind of do a little bit of everything. We're pretty proud that our solutions, from engineering all the way to the finished product, we handle the entire process. And sometimes I do mow the lawn if the kids that we hire over the summer aren't available, so I kind of have my hands in just about everything. So, like I said, we're based in Sterling, Massachusetts. We're family owned. Actually, my grandfather started the company in 1963 out of his garage. He worked for Raytheon, and he developed a gold-plated switch that NASA used in the first Apollo mission, which is where the SpaceAge Electronics comes from. We are ISO 9001 registered 2015. We just redid that certification this year. Oh. Nope.
For the video, if you got video, we gotta actually click. Sorry.
Oh, my bad.
Sorry, not my fault. There we go.
Okay. Oh.
And then
That's right.
just click on the screen there.
Okay. So this is kind of a little bit of an introduction give you a little bit of a feel of who we are as a company. It's only about 45 seconds, so don't fall asleep. Click. There we go.
In 1963, a business was forged from a basic set of principles: ethics, loyalty, and hard work. Passed down from generation to generation, those deep-rooted founding values will never be lost.
So we did a couple-part video series last year. We called it The American Dream. That's the first installment of it, but just kind of a little bit about who we are. The Corvette that's in the video is from 1963, the same year as the company was formed. The two gentlemen that were in the video is actually my grandfather, who started the company, and my father, who's now the president. So I kind of already said a little bit of this stuff, but one thing about SpaceAge that we're really, really proud of is we love change. We love adapting to change. We love taking on new challenges. Anything that we can do to make us better as a company, to make things more efficient, faster, that's really what we like to do. And Adeptified, you guys can trademark that word if you want. So in exactly 2 weeks, we'll be a full year using Adept. So the elephant in the room that led us to go to start even investigating a PDM solution in general is we have so much stuff and we don't really know what to do with it. You know, we've got a 50-year-old business. We've got 50 years of drawings and documents, and like, it's just so much in so many different places. It sounds like kind of talking from everybody. We kind of all came from the same spot where we've got a bunch of different network shares, and they're kind of people making folders and calling stuff whatever they want and moving it around, and it's just very, very unmanageable. So we have about 120,000 files. Actually, as of this morning, we have 128,091 files, which we're about 60 people, so for us, a company our size, it's a fair amount of information to manage. So we really had a difficult time, and I'm sure everybody's heard the same thing. Where is this? Where did I put it? Like, I think I deleted this by accident. Can you restore it? I don't know. I lost it, which usually means I didn't do it, and I'm just trying to find some sort of excuse. I changed it, and I didn't mean to. I got to go back. So there's no version control. There's no real lockdown on all of that information that we have. So this is kind of an example of where we came from. We have a list of a bunch of different drawings. You can see some of the stuff up at the top there isn't really where it's supposed to be. There's that solid assembly, and it's just like some random name. There's just so much stuff, and we don't really know what to do with it. Whereas somebody now will start working on a project, and we'll call it whatever. This is a USB locking thing. Honestly, don't even know what this is. I just took a screenshot of the first folder I could come to. And I do it all the time. I did it today, where I was doing some emails, and I made a document yesterday, and like, what the heck did I call that? Where did I put it? And, it happens all the time. So if I'm going to come back to this sometime in the future, maybe I want to steal from the design, I'm not going to be able to find it. So a lot of I have a clicker. I don't know why I'm hitting it. A lot of the products that we make, this is one of our solutions. It's a smoke control panel. So when a firefighter is going into a building that's having some sort of a smoke event or a fire event, they use this to control how the smoke evacs from the building. So there's a ton of wiring that goes. You can see there's a graphic there. There's a mechanical drawing for that, sometimes 2 or 3 or 4 mechanical drawings. There's the wiring layout. There's an assembly drawing. There's a bunch of instructions. There's customer interaction that happens, and all that needs to be put together where, somebody could call us 15 years after the system shipped out and say, I'm having some sort of technical problem with smoke control panel in my building, and can you help me out? Can you fix this? And we'll say, okay, cool. What panel is that? I don't know. I just work here. If you don't have the information, I have no way to find that. So in order to get it in a timely fashion, what we did is take all of that information. We can link it together now by our order number. I don't know if you can see the little red thing. Our customer number, some description of it. All the information that we store in the title block of the drawing is extractable. So when they call us up and say, hey, we need help with this, and we say, what panel? And they say, I don't know. We'll say, okay, tell me something about it. When was it made? What's the number that's on the front? Where is it? So we can search, I don't know, what's this? 1283 York Ave. We can go in Adept and type 1283 York Ave. We can see we have our face graphic, all of our punch information, the PVC backplate, all of that stuff. You can see they're all different names, and they're all going to be in different locations. It's all right in the same spot, and there's 150 different ways to search for it. So taking 30, 45 minutes to find what we're looking for if somebody's having a technical issue and they want it resolved on the spot because it's required by building codes that system be operational instead of 45 minutes, 2 seconds. This is what we got. All together, we can reproduce it. Engineering can work with the customer on technical issues. So it's really made managing our data super, super easy. One thing about us also is that we're crazy about efficiency. We worked with, in Massachusetts, it's called the Manufacturing Extension Partnership. And they came in and trained all of our people on Lean, on Kaizen. For anybody who doesn't know what any of this is, it's kind of manufacturing principles to make sure that your processes are all as little, the least amount of steps to do whatever the final objective is. So handling things as little as possible. We manage our inventory in a way so that all of the assembly lines throughout the plant, the inventory that they specifically need to produce whatever it is that they're working on is as close to them as it can possibly be. So they're not trying to walk around the building to find what they want. It's all managed, and we really try and teach everybody that when you're doing something, think about what you're doing. How do we make it faster? How do we make it more manageable? So as we kind of started moving into Adept, we started looking at talking to our engineers as people were using it, and their biggest thing was, why do I have to fill out the data card every time I do this? It's like, if it's something that's not extracted or there's really no information that Adept can read out of the file, what we did is we say, put in the part number, just something, so that when we have our SQL agent that monitors the database in the background, it looks for a change, and whatever side it comes from, whether it's our ERP or if it's an Adept itself, it looks for a change and then pushes it in either direction. So if I change the data card in Adept, it goes into the ERP, changes whatever information that I changed in there, and it's an instant. So anybody that's working on the manufacturing floor, all of our production documentation is instantly updated. For us, you kind of saw earlier the screenshot with all the different drawings for the smoke control panel. This is another product that we make. It's a surge protector. There's a bunch of different pieces to this. This has a graphic. It has a part. This screw has a part number. There's artwork for it. This is a sticker. There's a part number for cutting it all apart because these all kind of peel. There's a part number for the red screening that we put on it, the white text. That's a part. That's a part. That graphic is a part. The PC board, the wire, all of those are pieces. And they're all different part number because our system, was generated 50 years ago. It was done on paper. So our part number doesn't match the drawing number, doesn't match the program number. So the real easy way for us to put it all together is, and this is just kind of a quick example. For our operators, rather than having to go to 15 different places, they just type in their part number, and it gives them all the information. So this is something. I was supposed to fix that, and I didn't. Don't pay attention. So, all right, this is a sheet metal part. This is one of our document enclosures, but I don't know how to do this. Okay, well, before that pops up, there's a bunch of different part numbers, and they're all linked together with that one field that's common in between them. So depending on where you are, if you're in the fab shop or if you're on the manufacturing floor, you look at your work order and you say, I need this, 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 this. All right, where do I go to get that? I just go in Adept and I type in my part number. Everything I need is right there, and it's instantaneous. Everybody at our shop loves that. If anybody, we kind of talked a little bit about Publish Wave yesterday, so if you're bored of it, sorry, I'll go quick. One of the things that we really liked about Publish Wave is that watch folders. So our operators in the manufacturing or the fabrication shop where they're working on the machines, and they're programming, and they're doing setups, and they're moving machines around and driving forklifts, and it's like they don't want to sit down at the computer. And I got this program, I got to put it in, I got to acquire the checkout, I got to check it back in, and then I got to approve it, and then I got to go back to my machine. For those guys, they don't have time for it, they don't want to do it, so what we did is we created this watch folder. So when they're taking any information that they need for this particular part, so they've got their program, they've got their setup sheet, their their press brake setup sheet, their layout for the punch press. What they do is once they're done with it, they've done all their program updates, they just throw it in this network folder. PublishWave is looking at it, and whenever it sees something go in there, it grabs those, checks them in, approves them, because it's done. Once the operator loads that into Adept, they've done their changes. So it sticks it back in. When they go into Adept Explorer and they type in their part number, their one part number to get what they want, they know that it's in there. They don't have to do anything. And for us, I stole this from Martha. It's not just a glorified file cabinet. Everybody that works at SpaceAge uses Adept in one way or another. We keep all of our ISO information in there, our policies and procedures, checklists, forms, drawings, our marketing information is in there. Everything, if it's electronic in some way, we put it in Adept. So additionally, our sales force outside of the building, if they're on a call with a customer or if they're visiting a customer, they're talking about a solution, rather than calling into the factory to have somebody go down to engineering and say, so-and-so wants this drawing, can you put it together in a PDF and send it back to him, or send it to me and then I'll send it to him? Which it works, but our sales guys, they wanted to look at the 3D model and rotate it around, and explode it, and show people and really give some good examples. So they go into Adept Explorer. We have it set up with SSL, so it's very secure. They log in, get whatever they need. They can have the conversations that they need to have, technical conversations, do markups if they want to do some design changes. So that's been, for us, it's been really a game changer. So I think that's pretty much all that I have. I want to thank you for paying attention. Big thanks to all the help desk people for every time I call in with a really dumb question. Cool. Any questions? Yes. We started, the idea initially was to just put engineering in it. I mean, as a document management solution, it's kind of marketed towards, or maybe from the way we were looking at it, is more of an engineering tool than a general tool for everybody. Because everybody at SpaceAge is so excited about changing stuff, I mean, there's always some people that you have to compel to like, changes. It happens, but. So we implemented Adept in engineering, and everybody's like, that's cool, they got a cool new thing, I want to use it. So, after 2 months of people asking and seeing the benefits of it, they're like, you know what, we're just going to put everything in it. So we kind of just made the jump, put everything in it. There was, some updates we had to take care of, get people used to a different way of working. Because, if you've been using a computer your entire life, and the only way you know how to use it is Windows file folders, it's a different experience that it takes a little bit of adaptation, but we got it figured out pretty well. So, yep. Mm-hmm. So not all of them, but we do manage some. We've had some scanned. And extracted, so some of the text is readable as long as the drawing quality was high enough that the text can be recognized. But yeah, we do have some of those physical paper drawings managed in there. Yep. Any other questions? Cool. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you, sir.
Nice job.
Thank you.